So I wanted to make this video to maybe give some people some ideas about how to LS swap a Gbody. Not like there's not 100 videos on YouTube, but everybody kind of does things different, and some things probably work better than others, and there's probably some stuff that we could use ideas from each other's builds to do things better and cheaper maybe. But I'll just kind of go through this top to bottom, front to back, just to sort of give you an idea. 4.8, don't BS me, sloppy build, sloppy stage 2 cam, pack 1218s, yeah, nothing special at all. Threw some seals in it and stuff, didn't do anything to it. Used the VS Racing turbo kit, came with the turbo and the intercooler and all that. Intercooler was super easy, just literally all 90s, I believe. 90 coupling, 90 intercooler, 90 to a 90 straight into a 90 into the throttle body. Nothing special there. I did all Holley for the mounts, engine, transmission, and for this car, I actually had to, you can't see it, and I didn't get pictures of it, but I had to notch ever so slightly the cross member because the oil pan just barely touched, and one of the bolts for the motor mounts just wouldn't go in. And I just notched it out, hammered it down, welded in a little chunk, and it dropped right in and it was fine. But the Holley thing, you know, they kind of harp on how it's all just like drop in and you're good to go. And for me, that wasn't the case. I mean, these cars were, you know, built by a person, so you got a little bit of discrepancies on your tolerances and stuff, I'm sure. So that was sort of the problem for me. I did, for the turbo, just a FSP log manifold. I don't think he is making those anymore, but you know, there's different ones on eBay or Amazon or whatever for doing just like a regular T4. My buddy built me the 4-inch downpipe and welded the provision for the gate onto the turbine housing, so that wasn't me. The radiator, it's just a LS swap radiator. Did the Taurus fans, didn't do anything special for shroud. Like I didn't make like a full cookie cutter sheet to block all the fins or anything like that. And man, I don't know, driving it in 95 degree weather, it doesn't get warm at all. So I don't know, until I have a problem, I'm not really gonna do anything different with it, I don't think. I did all AN fuel lines, just did the shipbox supply adapters to the factory rail, and then 8 AN for the feed and 6 AN for the return. Have a filter down by the tank, did a Walbro in-tank setup with the fuel injected Monte Carlo tank. Nothing special there either. Something that you probably don't need. I have the low car dipstick tube for my transmission just because I bought this tranny off Marketplace and it didn't come with a dipstick. So if I would have had a factory one, I probably would have got that to work in there somehow. Haven't really done anything special for the exhaust. I just have a bullet muffler on there. I ran my transmission cooler lines and the cooler to the back and just kind of fabbed up some brackets and ran the lines up. My drive shaft, which was pretty cool, I did if you hop on eBay and just look up like NASCAR drive shaft, there are drive shafts in different lengths, and then you just kind of got to take your measurements, and I think mine was like in that 47.25 range, and all I needed was just a little bit shorter of slip yoke for the transmission there, and shoot, it with the 1350 U-joints, it just dropped right in, because I did the Quick Performance 9-inch And then the Viking coilovers with the trick mounts worked really good, went right in, didn't have any trouble. I mounted the ECM in the factory spot. That's just tucked up in here. I'm kind of messing around with the little handheld thing. I don't have it like permanently routed anywhere yet. And I believe these controls were maybe going to the HVAC box. I can't remember, and I don't have them zip tied up in here yet. But the Holley ECU doing the Terminator X to control the transmission and the engine fits just fine in here. I mean, there's the top of it right there, goes in there good. Then for the gauges, I did the Holley 6.86 dash with the Reversion Raceworks like 3D printed mount, and it looks pretty clean. Drops right in. You can probably hear the transmission fan going. I just have that set to go all the time, so maybe there's a better way to do that, maybe not, I don't know. I'm still messing around. I'm doing the tuning, and I don't really know what I'm doing, so kind of messing around with that. I do just have the stock injectors in there, and I need some bigger ones to light the turbo up a little bit faster, but it drives good. So I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head that I like or dislike. The only thing that I might say is I might have been able to save some money going with a different style of mounts. Just the Holley stuff, it was nice. The Holley pan, the Holley oil pan, get that on eBay. You can just look up the LS swap pan. It's like off-brand, but when it came to me, it literally had the Holley instruction like sheet of paper in the box. So yeah, that's it. It comes from there. So and for the transmission, since I didn't change out the shifter for like a B&M or anything like that, that's the factory shifter. I'm using the ShiftWorks kit. You replace the detent in the console, and then under the car, you just change out your adapter piece, and then you just mount your other little bracket and just make your adjustments and stuff, and you get to retain all of your shifting positions. And the torque converter is from Ryan Jan's Tampa torque converter. I can throw a link into the description. And then for most of the fuel line and fuel fittings and stuff, I used Monkey Fab. Mike's super cool. I think we got the little Monkey Fab right there. Yeah, he's got all your electrical, like a lot of my wiring and stuff, all this really nice loom came from him. Yeah, a lot of the other little bits and bobs I got from Monkey Fab. They're really cool. Yeah, I guess any questions that you guys have about anything, you can just drop a comment. Gonna try to be making some videos. I got this other truck over here that I pulled the motor out of the other day because the motor is toast, and I'm thinking about doing an LS swap in that one too if I don't decide to rebuild that 350. And if I do that, I'm most likely going to try to reuse the factory everything, like do the factory PCM and don't cut the harness at all or anything, and then just use the slider mounts and the adapter and butt it up to the Turbo 400 that's in there, and then just drive it. So that one hopefully will be getting done sooner rather than later. But yeah, any questions about the Gbody, just drop them down below. Thanks.